have an upcoming trip to Disney, and I thought it would be super cute to make a signature book. Now, the supplies I'm actually going to be using for this project do come from the 12x12 cardstock shop. It's the Fun at the Park by Doodlebug. I got the collection pack, the petite print assortment, the odds and ends, and the shape sprinkles, along with the 170 Ultra Black by Cereal for my cover. And then for the pages that the characters will sign on are the Solar White Neon Classic Crest from the 12x12 cardstock shop. Those are my supplies that I'm going to be using, but I want to tell you, I experimented with this first. So one thing that they always tell you is to have a big signature block for your character signature so they can write a little bit extra. So I experimented with 10x10 pages, 8x8 pages, and my 6x6. Well, I had kind of landed on this 10x10 page, and I completed almost an entire album. The problem with this size is that it's heavy. It is so incredibly heavy. Once you get the base cards, the pattern paper on top, the signature block, the photo block, all of that is just incredibly heavy. And I only have 12 pages here. I don't want to lug this thing around the entire park while I'm already going to be exhausted. Making the characters hold this signature book too is going to be very taxing for them as well, because it's like 5 pounds. It's a lot of cardstock. So I landed on the 6x6 page because the way this is set up is every other page is going to be pattern paper and then a signature. Now on this, I was using single-sided cardstock, but you can see they have this entire space, which is almost equivalent to this signature block. This is almost 6x6. It's more like 5.5 by 5.5. And on the other side, you get the photo with the character. And so it is perfect size, I think. So that's what we're going to do today. Ours is going to be a little bit different because we are using double-sided cardstock instead of single-sided cards. And there's going to be a little bit of math going on. Now, I used a Zutter binding tool on this, and that's what I'm going to be using for the project that we are going to complete today. But you can use whatever binding tool you have. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to be using measurements specifically for the Zutter, but you can do whatever you want. You can use the We Are binding tool. You can go to your Office Max or Office Supply store and most likely get it bound there. There's specialty binding things. You can go on campus to a college and get it bound. Just all sorts of options. But I am using the Zutter, and that's what's nice about the Zutter is it came with an instruction manual to tell me the size of the inside papers and the covers. So my cover is going to be 6x6. I know that for a fact. And it's going to be made out of this 100s because it is super thick. It will add stability to my page, even though I am going to have a lot of cardstock and stability is not really going to be an issue. So if you want to be super efficient on this project, you're going to need 4 pattern papers. You're going to need 3 12x12 white for our inner pages. And then you're going to need 2 or 3 white for our 3x4 photo blocks. So really, this project isn't going to take a lot of paper, but I'm going to be extra. This is my first time to Disney as an adult, and I picked 13 different patterns. And we're going to cut them up and get them bound. So my inner pages are going to be 5 and 13/16, and then my cover is 6 inches. So I'm going to get those cut. So I've got my book cut. So the idea here is that you have the covers, which are the black, very sturdy 170, and then you've got a pattern paper and a white piece of paper every other. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to add my 4x3 cards, probably horizontal there, vertical, every one. The idea is that the character signs here and you have a corresponding picture with that character, and that happens on every single one. And just to test, to verify that this is going to work, I'm going to take a scrap piece of the same cardstock that Neon, just verify that you really can't see through, and I think I'm good. You can see a little bit of bleed, but it's not really that bad. Like if I were to write, it really, you can hardly see it. And I was pressing pretty hard. So that's really good. That means that truly my picture is going to correspond with the autograph. One thing to note is that this book is pretty chunky for, you know, a 6x6. And that's because you can get up to 24, maybe even more signatures at Disney. So I wanted to make sure to have 24 available spots. One tip that I do when I'm making booklets like this is I cut my paper and then I bind. I don't add my photo placements or my decorative pieces to the covers until I'm done binding, because the binding takes up a good ½ inch to ¼ inch, and I want to make sure that my pieces are professional looking, even though this is for myself. Also note that I do have extra pattern paper. I've got a front side and a back side, and then I can add maybe even like a little pocket on the inside cover to hold any memorabilia. Now this isn't going to be my only memorabilia for Disney, but this is a cute way to get a signature book. So I'm gonna go ahead and bind, and we're gonna finish the rest of this up. Now that we have got this bound and it turns nice and easy on each of the pages, I did have to do a trial run. You know, I messed up the first one and then figured out the second one miraculously. I don't feel like I changed much, but it finally worked. You know, trial and error. It is what it is. And you're gonna have that with any binding tool that you do. I chose the spiral, or this double wire binding, because when I hand this to the character, they can have just a single piece of paper and I can go to the next page. I'm thinking when I'm traveling, I'm going to put this in the kind of like a bubble mailer dealio. But we first need to figure out the covers and how big they can be. See how this takes up like a ½ inch right here? Well, that's a big deal. And I already have all of these leftover papers, so I figure I can cut one down and let it be the top page. So I'm going to measure from that little cut there to here, and it looks like it is 5 5/8. I'm going to subtract 3/16 because I already know that the top and bottom are 3/16. So I'm going to go 5 7/16. Now I was looking at the sticker sheet, and I think this is going to be like the title of my book, Where Dreams Come True. So I'm going to go through and see if I can find something that looks great with this background. And I can just kind of hold it here. Do I like that? Ooh, I like that. There's also this one that kind of takes away from it. There's this, which is super cute and has a whole bunch of different icons on it. I could go plain, you know, do something with yellow. Meh. Teacups or red. That looks pretty good. I wonder if I layer. So if I go like this, or do I go like this? I kind of like to layer, so I'm going to layer this one up. So I said 5 7/16 for the width. So then I've got a nice even border all the way around. And then let's do, how big is this? That's 3.5. So if I do 4x4, I've actually got a handy dandy thing here that's 4x4. Do I like how small that is? Let's do 4.5 by 4.5, just to cut down, right? Like there's no need to, then maybe, hang on. So this was 5 7/16, and this is 5 13/16. I'm gonna use some math here because I don't want it to look weird, and I feel if I do a square inside not a square, it would look a little weird. So we've got 5 13/16 and 5 7/16. So if I take a ½ inch away, let's take an inch. So it would be 4 13/16 and 4 7/16. Let's do that and see how it goes, because then I think it'll look nicer. So this is the width. So 4 7/16 and 4 13/16. Okay, that looks pretty good that way. Let's check this. Yeah, I think that looks good. I kind of want to take a little bit more away here, so I might do 7/16. See where we're at and just make it a square, even though my edges aren't going to be the same. I think that's going to look better. Yeah, I like that better. So there's that. That'll be my title page. And when I'm gluing this, I am using my art glitter glue, which you can buy at the 12x12 cardstock shop. And by the way, you can get all of this stuff except for the binding tool at the 12x12 cardstock shop. But again, you can use any binding tool that you want. I'm doing glue instead of ATG because this is a book that will be handled a lot between now when it's preserved, which will be after the trip, right? So we just got to be aware that things are going to want to fall apart, and glue is less likely to fall apart than ATG. That looks pretty dang good. So there's my front page. The back page, I'm thinking, is going to be a pocket, and I think I'm going to have to use some of my extras here to pull that off. It'd be kind of fun to use this one. I might do that. Okay. So I'm going to cut this down, I think, again, to the 5 7/16. That's why it's nice to write things down, because then you don't have to recount. Yeah, that's gonna be cute. This is definitely one way to use all of your scraps, right? Okay, well, I think yellow would be cute. So to make the pockets, I am going to use my score tool. You can use any score tool that you want. And I need to do 5/16 as my dealio, and it's right about there. So I guess it would have been, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, an 1/8. So 1 3/8, and then 2, 3. Okay. And then I want to go up about that far. So I'm going to say that dot right there. I'm going to score again, right here-ish. Not very precise on this, guys. And then I'm going to cut this down 3/8 of an inch, because that's about there. Okay, so what this ended up being is I scored 3/8 of an inch in on either side, and then up here is 3/8 of an inch. And this right here, height-wise, is 3 3/8-ish. And this is all gonna kind of depend on how you want to do it. It's not a perfect science. So to make my corner square, I'm gonna cut off at an angle, and then I'm going to press these in. Now I'm doing the yellow dark dot background. You can do the light dot if you want to. You can do a different dot if you want to. Point is to get that to sit right about there. And look at that. There is my little cute pocket. So I'm going to use glue again. So now I can put any little stickers that I get in here, any souvenirs that are kind of flat can go in this book. It'll be super cute. And I'll do the same thing probably for the back cover too, but you can see that just kind of slips right in. It's awesome. Now for this top one, I think I might just do a sticker right here, and then on the back side what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a horizontal photo with a little bit of ephemera. I think that's cute. Do I want to make the bow bigger? I do want to make the bow bigger. Who says you can't layer die cuts over stickers? Beautiful. That's super cute, fun first page. Next, we're going to go on to our placement of my 4x3 cards. Now these are 4 1/8 by 6 1/8 because I do like that border, and I think it'd be cute to kind of add some ephemera on here. Now note, when you overlap like this, you do have to not put glue where you're going to overlap. I think that's cute. And I'm going to make super quick decisions here. I don't want this project to last a very long time, and it's just going to be super fun, super cute. Okay, so I'm going to go right down the middle, and then I'm leaving this area blank so that I can later put a photo in. And I know, because I'm making these for myself, that this is a 4x3 photo. If I wasn't making it for myself, you saw my example where I had stamped 4x3 photo. So I think I'm gonna pixie whatever dust somebody at the park with this. So that's why I put 4x3 photo here, so that they can have this. Hopefully I can find a little girl with a birthday. I think that'd be super cute. But mine is going to have a little bit extra because it's me and I'm an extra person. Okay, so I can do things like that. I don't really want to do tickets. Let's do, or luggage. I could do something like this. No. What about a Ferris wheel? How cute is that? So I can, that's super cute. Now, does the person that I have here need to be Dumbo? No, absolutely not. It'd be cool if my photo was next to a Ferris wheel, but do I think that's actually going to happen? No, I don't. So I'm just using this ephemera as a way to dress up just a little bit, my pictures and that kind of thing. Okay, so that way you can kind of feel the Disney magic while you're getting your signatures. I think I'm really excited about this. If you've made your own book like this, tell me what collection you used. Did you end up using it? Like, I hope I do, but you never know. You never know. I kind of want to use some of these bigger pieces first. You get so, that's too big, into the moment and that kind of thing. Oh, here's some ice cream. We'll do that with ice cream. So at the end of the video, you'll see some close-ups of final pages. We'll do a quick walkthrough to music on my Instagram so that you can see how it turned out at the end, because that's always fun to see what it looks like. But I'm just going to go through, add a piece of ephemera, add my 4x3 photos, put a pocket here, decorate my back page, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to like and subscribe to the 12x12 cardstock shop for more paper crafting tutorials, and check out Nikki's scrapbooking adventures over on YouTube and Instagram. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.